Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons. It is Monday, September the 15th, 9 o'clock, time for the First Alert Weather Show at 9. Thanks for joining me tonight, and if you have questions or comments, weather observations, what have you, you can do them on the comments section of the 14 News Facebook page, and we'll see what you're thinking here in just a few minutes. We have had plenty of heat. We've already had a 96-degree high over the weekend, not quite that high today, but we were still in the lower 90s, and it looks like there is no end in sight, at least not during the work week. So hot and dry will be the pattern here. There's an air quality alert for tomorrow. The heat and the sunlight, sometimes if there's not enough wind, will cause ozone levels to go up at the surface, and that's not good if you have breathing problems, COPD, heart condition, asthma, that sort of thing. It's really more geared toward kids and older folks who might have some difficulties out there. Weekend rain is a possibility, along with some cooler temperatures too. That air quality alert covers technically just southwest Indiana, but we all know the air doesn't really care where the river is or where the county lines are. So I would say just the metro areas here. So Evansville, Henderson, Owensboro, Tell City, and then on up Princeton, Jasper, Washington, Vincennes. And all those counties there, the air quality may be unhealthy for sensitive groups during the day tomorrow. That is at least the forecast for what's coming up. And we also have burn bans. That fire risk increases each day that we don't have rain. We've added McLean County, Vanderburgh in there, Henderson County as well, so no open burning there. On the hour by hour, about the best I can do here will just be a few kind of random clouds coming through. No real mechanism to get some rain going. And so we've zeroed out rain chances through Thursday. By Friday late, Saturday, Sunday, we do see better odds of having at least some scattered showers or storms, and that is a good thing because we certainly could use a little rain out there. Our dew point currently at 64. That's still in a comfortable range. We don't really start feeling that mugginess until the dew point gets in the upper 60s and lower 70s. And up against a temperature, in the 90s, of course, it still will feel a little humid out there. Long range here, and this goes all the way up to Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You see that temperature starting to trend down, and we have rain chances each day too. The GFS here is advertising some rain through the weekend. Not a lot, maybe 1/10 of an inch. The European was a little more generous, and we'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, just the fact that there is some rain showing up in the longer range model is a sign for hope. It's not a lot of rain though. 80s and 70s here across the eastern half of the country now. We're actually in good company. Everybody kind of heated up again into the 90s here across the Midwest, and it's going to stay that way at least through Thursday and Friday here. Now to our west, like Kansas City and places like that, they will get access to that cooler air. So we hit 93 today, and 67 was the low this morning. Our 96 happened yesterday. It felt like it too when we were out during the afternoon. So, and no rain, of course, here at this point. So for the month, we're about an inch behind where we should be. The other thing here is that tomorrow, virtually identical to today, we'll have highs in the 90s. And again, there will be a belt or line of showers and storms across Missouri, which is right around the periphery of that high pressure. We have that northerly wind or southerly wind here coming up, blowing to the north off the Gulf, and so that will carry in enough moisture to get things going. Well, our tropical situation has clarified a bit. The National Hurricane Center calling for a 90% chance of the formation of Gabrielle out here to be a tropical storm in the next 7 days. So that is the only thing, though, that is outlooked right now. The Caribbean, both Central and Western Caribbean, still quiet. The Gulf is quiet right now too, as is the southeast coast. We have no storm risk for the next 3 days here in the tri-state because of high pressure basically blocking it all out, or all storm chances out. The hour by hour then will be predictably boring with not much happening. Low pressure is kind of scraping up the east coast there, maybe spinning up some showers there along the coast. Here now it starts looking more interesting. By Saturday, this kind of looks like a cold front here trying to come together, and that could be the focus for some rain. And then we get into Sunday, same deal. We have southerly winds and potentially some scattered showers through Sunday and Monday, and maybe even into Tuesday. The GFS, again, we'll look at the rainfall total here. Excuse me, it is dry. Still that measly 1/10 of an inch. Let's look at the European. It was a little more convincing on rainfall there over the weekend. I can't remember which day it was now, or maybe it was next week. In any case, it was showing about 2/10 to 1/4 of an inch of rainfall. We will drop to 65 tonight and then go up to 93 tomorrow. So haven't heard that before, right? And then down the line, we have a increasing chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms over the weekend at this point. Still hanging on to above normal temperatures, maybe not as hot. We've been running about 10, 11 degrees warmer than normal. It'll pull back to maybe 5 or 6 degrees above normal. And our rainfall, we're actually outlooked now for at least near or slightly above average. Our pet pick, this is Miley, Bill Mills's dog. So Miley's styling there in either an office, I think, yeah, it's somebody's office there. Let me see what that says. Well, anyhow, good pick out there. Is that a Labradoodle? I don't know my dog types. All right, let's see if we got any comments here that need to be addressed. We got Laura Gray in from Dawson Springs. Appreciate you down there, Laura. Dale Jordan was watching. Cheyenne Hammonds. Emma Rowland, Jeff Miller, Sava in the house. All right. Paula Schaefer, good evening. Beverly Sprinkle, when will it feel like fall? Well, see, it felt like fall the last 3 weeks. Isn't that funny how we did that? It'll come back. In a couple weeks, I predict we will be, cooler and back where we should be. Deborah Effinger, will it be a dry winter? Well, I'm not going to go out on that limb because, I'll go out on the limb, sure. It's been dry, but that doesn't always correlate to what kind of winter we will have. Last year, we had a dry spell here at about the same time, flash drought, and then we had kind of an active fall, and we had a ton of snow, mainly in late December and into the following year. So I wouldn't rule out, snow and cold and everything for the winter. It's just a little early to say that just yet. For our Science Corner tonight, we're going to talk about air quality alerts and why we have them. As I mentioned, tomorrow the air is predicted by the EPA to be unhealthy for sensitive groups. That means there's enough particulate, ozone, some kind of irritant that would get into your lungs and make it harder to breathe. And if you're compromised in some way, like if you have asthma, COPD, you'll be short of breath. When these levels get higher, like when we had the wildfire smoke in here, even somebody who's in pretty good shape, you get out there and you can't catch your breath because there's too much other stuff in the air that's competing for space in your lungs, right? There has to be the membranes in there where the oxygen and the blood exchange. If you've got particulate in there or smoke or ozone or whatever, that makes it harder for that transition to occur and or transfer to occur, and that's why it gets harder to breathe. In our case, we're mainly concerned about like car exhaust and power equipment and stuff on the ground that puts out pollution, which interacts with ultraviolet light and the heat from the sun. And what that does is it creates ozone, low-level ozone. Now, this isn't the same as the ozone hole. Remember, we heard all about that. We couldn't use aerosol cans anymore because the fluorocarbons were depleting the ozone layer. That's the one that shields us from ultraviolet light coming in. This ozone is actually a chemical compound, O3, that forms right at the surface by the combination of I could do the chemistry here for you, but I just don't have it in me. I'm not sure I would be exactly right, but you would have carbon monoxide, so CO, and you would have, I can't remember the other thing that you get the then O3, ozone from, but there's a reaction. Let's just leave it at that. No beakers and test tubes back here to test it. Anyhow, that's the issue. In other air quality alerts, the fine particle or particulate is what triggers it, and that's your wildfires and your pollution that oftentimes will get trapped in by a temperature inversion aloft, where we have a little warmer air aloft than what's at the surface, and so the air down here can't escape. It's a cap, same thing that sometimes inhibits thunderstorms, and then the pollutants concentrate near the surface. So those two are also factors sometimes in air quality alerts. All right, let me see if we have anything else for the dry. Will Raleigh wants to know about the fall colors. Well, yeah, I think that when it's this dry, they typically tend to just kind of go brown on us. But, we're not quite there yet. I mean, we could still get some rain and things could turn around. So we'll hope for that. I appreciate you all watching here tonight. I will see you on 14 News at 10. Stay safe. Have a good night.